What's going on, guys? Welcome to a new build series. This is something that I wanted to do for a long time, but I haven't had, a quote unquote fun car for the last 8 years. I've had to make some responsible decisions, but it's time to get stupid with the wife's permission. So, this is my new to me 2022 G82 M4 competition. Now, I might get flack because, oh, you got an automatic. Yeah, I also have an extra 75 foot-pounds of torque. And I've driven both. I've driven the AMG GT, the C8 Corvette, and the G82 M4 Comp and the G82 M4 Manual. And honestly, I had the most fun in the G82 competition. It was the most fun to me. That might not be for everyone. Everyone might be a manual purist. And believe me, I can drive stick shift. I grew up in a little farm town in Oregon. I had a low first, second, and third in the farm truck. Like, how I grew up. But at this point in my life, and with what I want to do to this car, it just made more sense to get that ZF 8-speed automatic gearbox. It's also easier to tune, can handle more power, and it's just going to make my life down the road as we get a little bit stupid with this car a little bit easier than having the manual transmission. So one of the first things we need to do to this car is the stock ride height is a little high for the amount of car that this is. I feel like I'm not trying to slam it on its nuts and make it undrivable and crack the oil cooler that's right behind the front bumper, but I do want a little bit more low, a little bit more aggressiveness out of this car. It already looks very aggressive on the road, but it just needs a little more low, because if you can do this to your car, Captain Morgan, it's a little much. It's a little much. It's not a flush fitment. So I've got H&R lowering springs that we're going to put on this car today, and then I have 12.5 millimeter spacers for the front and 15 millimeter spacers for the rear. Coming in on Tuesday. So we're going to give this thing a little bit more low, which I think is going to be the exact specifications based upon a lot of research that I'm looking for out of a daily driver, because that's what this is. This is my daily driver. I'm not going to just park it and drive it on the weekends. We're daily living the G82 life. I bought it with 28,000 miles. Right now we're currently at 30,500, and I've had it 2 weeks. I'm not shy to put miles on it. It's like, not sleeping with your girlfriend to save it for the next guy. What's the point? I'm not worried about losing value, and if you want to buy a sports car to hold value, you're ridiculous. All right, so let's give a quick tour of the new to me G82 M4 Comp. Under the hood, we have one of the most reliable engines BMW's ever built. We got the S58. The S58 is the big brother to the B58, all the M340 boys that took over TikTok and YouTube and Instagram. This is the big brother to that engine. But we have the S58 engine. It's an inline six twin turbo, and it's a true twin turbo motor. Unlike some vehicles that state that they're twin turbo, but it's just a little sequential turbo feeding into a larger one. This is a true twin turbo setup, which is going to make modifying it down the road pretty freaking sweet. So does this vehicle have every option that I wanted from factory? No, it doesn't have the laser headlights, doesn't have carbon ceramic brakes on it, but it does have a couple bits and pieces and goodies that I did really want, that I did think was important, and that's going to be some of the interior stuff. I didn't get the carbon buckets either. You can roast me in the comments, totally fine, I understand, but I'm daily driving this car, and I did not want to daily the carbon buckets. I've sat in both, and the carbon buckets are pretty stiff, and I didn't want to live with bruises on my legs 24/7 from messing up trying to get in the carbon buckets. But one thing that was a non-negotiable to me was the interior carbon fiber package, with the carbon fiber on the wheel, the carbon fiber on the dash, the carbon fiber on the center console. That was a non-negotiable to me. I just wanted to feel like I was in a more luxurious car. I wanted the carbon fiber roof, and I'm glad I got that. It looks amazing as you're driving around, and it's going to look really good because I'm going to be wrapping this car as well probably next month. If you have a color that you think would stand out, that's a little bit more unique than just wrapping it basic Ruby Star or, something like that, let me know in the comments what you think you'd want to see. I wanted these wheels, but I didn't want them in black. So, that's just another thing that I get to change and kind of make the vehicle my own with. I'm more of a brushed kind of guy. I didn't really want the black wheels, and they are so insanely hard to keep clean with the brakes that are on there. So that's going to be a quality of life upgrade that we do here soon, as well as the new rotors with the new brake pads going on to quit torching the wheels after about 3 days. They're red. They're red from all the brake dust. Couple other options that I really wanted was I really wanted the carbon fiber diffuser option. It just looks, in my opinion, really aggressive with the black tips that come stock with the M4 comps. I really wanted the carbon fiber diffuser. I didn't want to go full GT style wing on this car, so I'm glad that it was optioned with the factory carbon fiber duckbill wing. I kind of like it. I think makes it look a little more sleek. It gives it a little bit extra. Now this car does have, real carbon fiber on it. It's an M4. You probably shouldn't cheap out on modifying it. So the front grille is going to take probably a month or two, because at first I do want to change the color before we get into changing the grille. So the carbon fiber grille, splitter, side skirts, all that stuff's going to be coming in the future. I haven't decided if I wanted to go front mount intakes yet. I don't know if I want to be quote unquote that guy, but I do think that they look pretty aggressive, but I think it might fortunately just be a phase in the car scene to get those front mounts, but we'll see. I do live in Arizona, and there's not a lot of moisture in the air, so I don't think front mounts are going to be a huge problem for me in this state. And I think it would be kind of neat to wrap the cone in the same color that we end up wrapping the car. And don't get me wrong, I like the black sapphire metallic paint that came on this vehicle, but I just want something that pops a little more and that stays clean longer, because this state is dusty as hell. So it's insanely hard to keep clean. Every 2 days, this car looks like it's been abandoned for 6 months in Dubai because of all the dust. And I just want a brighter color wrap that doesn't show as much as often. Not that I'm going to neglect the car and not clean it, but I just don't want to have to clean it literally every other day. It's driving me insane. All right, guys, so that was the quick tour of the G82 M4 competition. I hope you want to follow along in the build series. We're going to be going to a lot of car shows, a lot of cruises, just diving into the car scene here in Arizona. And it's a little bit hot right now, so there's not a whole lot going on. But man, we're almost done with summer. We're a little bit over halfway through summer. And by the time car season's in full swing, this baby's going to be sitting pretty. So I hope you like and subscribe, follow along. We'll see you next time.